New Traeger Timberline Burn Off review. Now I know a lot of you have been wondering why I haven't actually done the burn off or review on this pit. It's plain and simple. When my kid was doing the assembly, he said, "Dad,
this kind of looks like an oven."
Yeah, he pooped on my parade. So grab a pair of oven mitts, Matt. We're gonna amplify some backyard barbecue fun. Now, whenever you get a new pellet grill, no matter what brand or model, you gotta do what I call a burn off. You're basically just burning off all of the oil or impurities from the manufacturing process. On the Traeger Timberline XL, we're going to actually follow the manual exactly of how they tell us to do this seasoning or burn off. Now, our first step is pretty easy. Just plug in the pit. Our second step, well, we gotta get some pellets in here. Now, we don't need a lot of pellets in here, but we might as well fill her up. Timberline XL has a 22-pound hopper, and we dumped in 20 pounds. And as long as we got this opened up, we might as well talk about that this has a pellet sensor. So it's going to read how much pellets you got in your hopper, which is a pretty nice little feature. Now be careful, because here's your pellet release, but your power button is right next to it. After you've turned it on, you're going to see this spinning around the dial, and it's going to light up that home screen, and it's going to tell you, welcome to your new Traeger grill. So let's press the let's do this. Press the next arrow, and it's going to tell us we can connect our Bluetooth to our phone, and it's also going to give us some things that we can explore. Hit it one more time, and now it's going to tell us to go ahead and season the grill. Press that button. We've already added our pellets, so we can just hit next. So now we can hit yes, ignite my grill. You'll read it's igniting. It'll also start up a 60-minute timer. And like always, I'm going to open up the lid. I don't care what anybody says. Once you first initially start up a pellet grill, you should always open your lid, because I've even seen new ones pop open from a little bit of boom boom. I just heard the fan start up, so that's a good sign, and I can hear that auger slowly turning to get some of those pellets into the fire pot. Now, I know a lot of you that have been following the channel for a while are wondering, what happened to the donger? Well, just like everybody else, I followed the trend and I cut it off. I have a new thing called the gapper. You can see, there she is. Big, wide, and can fit a lot. Now I just turned it on, and you might be able to hear a little bit over my mic, because this thing is a sucking machine. Now while I'm waiting for that white smoke to develop, I've already loaded the app to my cell phone, but now we're gonna connect this pit to my Wi-Fi. So we'll just press connect to your grill. It's gonna give me a passcode, and I just gotta enter it in, and then we're up and running. And now I just gotta wait, because it's establishing a connection. Then just put in your password and you're golden. Now I also heard the fan pick up a little bit in RPMs, plus I'm starting to smell a little smoke. This thing's gonna ignite real soon. I'm all paired up and connected to the Wi-Fi, and it's telling me I can name this pit. We're gonna name this one Easy BO. That stands for Easy Bake Oven, because in my opinion, after my kid said that, and look at this pit, yep, Traeger said enough. Call us an Easy Bake Oven. That's what we're gonna make. All right, Easy BO, it's already burning clean. Let's close up the lid. Now we're just gonna wait for this timer to shut off, and we'll be seasoned up. We might as well start with a little tour right on this little display, and I will give Traeger a bunch of credit, because that's pretty nice looking. Now this pit, it runs in 5-degree increments, which has kind of become the standard for most pellet grills these days. And we get to do some more connecting. We've got our induction stove that we can hook up, and our probes. This screen is representing if there's something that's broken, or if you have some troubleshooting and maintenance that you gotta do. All right, there we go, we're all done. Now I've also been asked, how do I keep my studio nice and cool? Well, I have a Paris Rhône swamp cooler. This thing has been an absolute lifesaver, because let's be honest with you, I'm cooking in a studio. This thing, it's just an evaporator. It's evaporating water. I like this swamp cooler so much that I started bringing it along with me to outdoor events even. I'm gonna find a link and I'll put it in the description below. Now, a lot of you know that I have an ice maker. I just dump a bag of ice on top, and yeah, That's not root beer. I have some really dirty, stained water in there right now. When you're at an event, beggars can't always be choosers. Sometimes you just gotta use the well water. Now it also comes with 4 little ice packs that you can put on top of that trough to keep it nice and cold too. Now you can see we've got it really nice and cold in here. Plus, this thing also oscillates back and forth. And we have different speeds. Right now, I'm just running at 1. Let's go up to 3. When it's set at 3, there's enough air coming out of there you can blow out the sweaty armpits. Now with about 20 minutes left, I noticed it went into kind of a shutdown mode. It doesn't run at that 500 degrees for very long. Might as well get out our meat probes. That's one of the next things that we're gonna be setting up, along with the induction stove. Okay, it says that our seasoning is complete, but we still have to hook up our extra devices. Hit this, and it's gonna download updates. And the pit will restart once it's done updating. The updates took about 30 minutes to finish, and I've got some pretty high-speed interwebs that are running through this studio. So if your Wi-Fi is a little slower, it might take a little longer. Now it's time to go ahead and hook up our induction stove and our probes. We'll go ahead and hit our menu button, turn it to accessories, press in the dial, and we're gonna wanna pair up our cooktop first. We'll pair another device, we'll go over to our meat probes. Okay, we're successful. Might as well hook up these wire probes to make sure that these are detected also. Plug these in. I think I'm having an issue with one of my Bluetooth plugs, so we're gonna have to let these charge up a little longer. Now this controller does have a lot of features, but we're not gonna go through all of them today. The cooktop is pretty neat. There's more control when you're using an induction stove compared to like an LP tank with one of those little side burners on there. Just turn this on for fun. It's gonna shut off very quickly because there's no actual steel or cast iron pan on here. If you don't have any cast iron, a good way to check any of your pans in your kitchen if they're gonna work on here is grab a little magnet, throw it on the bottom. If it sticks, it'll work. We have 1,320 square inches of cooking space on the Timberline XL. You're obviously gonna be able to get a lot of product inside this pit. It is very nice that these racks are adjustable. And if you need a little bit more room, you just put this one on top and, well, maybe you can get a couple chickens in here. Now, I didn't spray any PAM on this. Now, I'm not gonna take this whole inside chamber apart. If you wanna see what it looks like, you can watch my assembly video and you'll see all the cooking components that are involved. But the cooking chamber is all made out of 304 stainless steel. These top shelves, they say they can hold up to 60 pounds. And I'll tell you that these bottom shelves, that can probably hold 300 pounds. And when you open up the lid, your little side lights come on. They are triggered by this little magnet right here on the hood. Close it up, and it shuts off. We have a really nice big cabinet underneath here, and there is some decent room where you can get a couple bags of pellets underneath there. It is rated for 200 pounds. You have your quick ash release and you just press in that button and it comes off. And here's how much ash we got from our burn off. Now be careful, there could be some hot ash in there, so you don't want to just dump it in your garbage can. Now the cabinet also has the no slam hinges. Now this is how much pellets we have remaining and we barely even put a dent in it. But for fun, we might as well dump them in the bucket. Take out our little boards that are in here, snap off the lid, and slide in the bucket, and then pull out the dump. Now you can see not all of the pellets came out, and that's all right. All you gotta do is just poke around a little bit. They'll run. But I'm not gonna dump the rest of these out. We're just gonna put them right back in. Make sure you close up your trap. Now all 4 casters lock, but I will say that they're kind of cheapy plasticky. And I'm also not a big fan when they bury them underneath the pit. They're so hard to get to. Now you also have these little kickstands, and those are to help level out this pit in case you're on an incline. But if you don't need them, you can just tighten them up underneath that cart. Now this easy lock rail system you can add different things to it. You can buy a front shelf, or they do have some tool and sauce holders that can go over on this side. Now the hood or the lid, well, there is some weight to it. It's not the sturdiest, but it is double walled and insulated. Some of you might wish that this lid was on a hinge where it hold up and you could just close it. I actually like it that it comes completely off, because if I'm gonna use a great big pan or a big pot, I don't have some dumb lid in the way. From what I've seen so far on the Traeger Timberline XL, this pit is really techy, and obviously they re-engineered inside the chamber. But I think most of the cost on this pit is actually the Wi-Fi D2 controller. You know, it's nice that it's a touchscreen, but gosh, fingerprints. But some of the features you have to use the old button and scroll through. It's telling me Easy Bow is ready to cook. Now this pit does have a super smoke setting, which we're gonna try out down the road, and to keep warm mode, that's basically the lowest setting. Traeger really is flexing their muscles on this pit, but it's gonna cost you a pretty penny to get one. So let me know in the comments below if you got any questions on the Traeger Timberline XL. Honestly, this burn off was super simple. Just press the button. Well, of course I'm gonna wear a top hat and a bow tie. Can't fit into skinny jeans. I don't have a man bun. Gotta fit the part. Traeger. I'm drinking beer though. Huh, pinky out. Well, that's all I got. Roll the nation.
Yeah.